X-Men 97 is now streaming, and guess who's making a badass appearance? It's none other than Marvel's own tough guy, Wolverine. Plus, Deadpool 3 is now retitled Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel is looking keen on introducing X-Men, particularly Logan. Since bursting onto the scene in 1974, Wolverine has been one of Marvel's most beloved heroes. With nearly 50 years of thrilling adventures, both solo and with teams like the X-Men and Avengers, he's got a treasure trove of classic comic book stories. Old Logan has had plenty of memorable moments in Marvel Comics, but we've narrowed it down to the absolute must-haves for Marvel to consider adapting and introducing Wolverine or moving forward with a sequel. Old Man Logan. The X-Men have always danced on the edge of reality, taking us to exotic locales like the Savage Land or even outer space for some truly bizarre adventures. But with Old Man Logan, Mark Millar and Steve McNiven push the boundaries even further. Set in a twisted alternate future, Millar cranks up the Marvel Universe to full blast. Here, supervillains reign supreme, and Wolverine himself has been manipulated into committing a horrific act by Mysterio, resulting in the demise of his fellow X-Men. Left with only a blind Hawkeye and a souped-up Spider-Mobile, Logan fights to hold onto his humanity in the face of overwhelming tragedy. Oh, and did I mention he's also being pursued by a symbiote-powered T-Rex? Because, yeah, that happens too. Logan's journey to avenge his family, who fell victim to the twisted clan of the Hulk, is a roller coaster of intensity and over-the-top action. Yet it stays true to the core principles that have defined the character since day one. Enemy of the State. When we're talking about those huge, over-the-top comic book tales, one name jumps out: Mark Millar. Now, while everyone raves about Old Man Logan, let's not forget Enemy of the State. It's one of Millar's finest works in the Marvel scene. Logan, brainwashed and resurrected, is controlled by a gang of demon ninjas called the Hand, taking on the entire Marvel gang. Yup, every hero you can think of tries to stop him, and guess what? Old Knucklehead proves he's not someone to mess with. This story? It's non-stop action from start to finish, thanks to the awesome artwork and fight scenes by John Romita Jr. Sure, it's not exactly deep and philosophical, but man, is it a blast. It's like watching a blockbuster movie, but in comic book form. Fatal Attractions. Fatal Attractions sort of stumbled into existence, with Peter David tossing out the idea of Magneto stripping Wolverine of his adamantium as a joke. But hey, if there was ever a time for such a wild storyline, the 90s were it. Sure, it's over the top, but it's quintessentially a Wolverine tale. He's a tough nut to crack thanks to that amazing healing factor of his, which opens up doors for some serious exploration of trauma and resilience. And let's not forget that iconic image of Magneto yanking metal through Wolverine's pores. It's etched in comic book history. This arc shook things up by revealing that Wolverine's claws are actually bone underneath, adding a whole new layer to his mutation that fans hadn't seen before. Wolverine Origin. Wolverine Origin might not be the shining star on this list, but you can't overlook its significance in shaping the character's history. When Marvel realized that the film rights to Wolverine were in Fox's hands, they had to make a tough call: tell his origin story in comics or risk it being revealed on screen first. Paul Jenkins took on the challenge of crafting a tale worthy of Wolverine's legacy while keeping some of the mystery intact. Origin unfolds as a sprawling, tragic saga, adding layers to Logan's backstory. However, some fans argue that it takes away from his enigmatic allure, a bit like how seeing a young Anakin Skywalker lessens Darth Vader's mystique. After Origin, Wolverine might not seem as effortlessly cool, but it definitely has its share of admirers. Despite leaving some things open to interpretation, Kieran Gillen's follow-up, Origin 2, stirred up further complexities in Logan's history, receiving mixed reviews in the process. Vicious Circle. Spoiler alert, we're skipping Wolverine's debut for a good reason. There's a way cooler showdown that deserves the spotlight: Incredible Hulk number 340. From its iconic cover to Todd McFarlane's early artwork, this issue is a gem. A no-holds-barred brawl between two of Marvel's toughest dudes. When you got two virtually unkillable characters duking it out, you know it's going to be epic, with plenty of jaw-dropping action and awesome fight scenes. Sure, Wolverine wasn't the powerhouse back in Incredible Hulk number 180 and number 181 like he is now, but revisiting this showdown is a blast from the past, reminding us just how much Logan has grown into the fierce warrior we know today. Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. Beyond Wolverine's reputation for toughness and violence, there's a softer side to him that fans adore. One thing that sets him apart is his tendency to take younger characters, often teenage girls, under his wing as a mentor. Kitty Pryde and Wolverine lays the groundwork for this aspect of Wolverine's character. Chris Claremont, with his fondness for both Kitty and Logan, showcases a dynamic between them that remains consistent over the years. Claremont's genius lies in making one of the X-Men's toughest and coolest characters also one of the most compassionate. This duality allows younger characters to shine and expands the types of stories that can be told with Wolverine. In a way, it adds layers to Logan's own tragic history. It makes you wonder what his life would have been like if he hadn't been forced into a life of violence and killing. Uncanny X-Men number 133. Imagine the anticipation of waiting for Uncanny X-Men number 133 to hit the shelves after that nail-biting cliffhanger in issue 132. The X-Men captured, Wolverine trapped in the depths of the Hellfire Club's hideout. Talk about suspense. This issue marks a pivotal moment for Wolverine, his first big test where he either proves himself or falls short. But it's not just brute force that saves him. Chris Claremont paints Logan as a true Clint Eastwood type, relying on his smarts and guile to outwit his captors. In one standout scene, Logan gets inside the head of his adversary, laying out the grim reality that he's practically indestructible. With a classic line like, "It's your play, hero, I'm waitin'," Wolverine channels his own version of "Feeling lucky, punk?" It's a defining moment that solidifies his place as a force to be reckoned with. Weapon X. In a comic book world shaped by the darkness of Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns, Marvel faced a tough challenge to match that level of grit. But then came Barry Windsor Smith's Wolverine Weapon X, diving deep into the shadows of Logan's past and delivering a powerful exploration of his origins. Previous hints about Wolverine's dark history pale in comparison to the brutal truths unearthed by the Weapon X program. Windsor Smith fearlessly portrays the program's relentless torture, pushing Logan to his limits and revealing the depths of his suffering. Despite being forged into a near-perfect killing machine, Logan remains fundamentally human. Well, mutant. This story adds a compelling layer to Wolverine's mythos, one that has since been built upon by other writers. It's paved the way for the introduction of beloved characters like Phantom X and Laura Kinney, expanding the Wolverine legacy in new and exciting ways. Wolverine. Wolverine's debut limited series remains a timeless classic, etching itself as the quintessential tale of the character. Chris Claremont and Frank Miller joined forces to paint Logan as a figure of stark duality. While fans are drawn to his tough exterior and penchant for violence, Claremont delves deeper, revealing intense emotions that drive him. In this series, Wolverine taps into those emotions as he battles through the ranks of the ninja group The Hand to save his beloved Mariko Yashida. Claremont unveils Logan's samurai past, adding yet another layer to his enigmatic backstory. Miller's dynamic artwork perfectly captures the struggle as Logan wrestles with his inner demons, balancing his ferocity with a sense of duty. From the opening panel, Claremont delivers the iconic line that encapsulates Wolverine's essence, "I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice." It's a statement that has become synonymous with Marvel's most beloved mutant, and no other creator has captured Wolverine's essence quite like this. Well, that's it for today's video. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.